of hard decisions, I find the decision about when it is best for us to resume more in-person activities a hard decision. What has guided my thinking throughout this whole pandemic time is that we needed to take the best scientific medical advice that is out there, and we needed to follow the recommendations of public health professionals about what we can do as a Christian people, in particular, people who follow Jesus and follow the way of putting others before ourselves, what we can do to help reduce the risk of spreading what we still know to be a very potentially deadly virus. And most of us now know people who have died from the COVID-19 virus. A few weeks ago, I had opportunity to receive the vaccine. Now I've had both vaccinations, and I'll be frank with you, it does give you a greater sense of freedom once you feel you have that protection. But I also know that it's just taking a while, as we were told it would, for the vaccines to be available, for more and more people to have that choice of being able to receive them. Good news this weekend was now a third vaccine has been approved. The Johnson & Johnson vaccine, which I understand is a one-dose vaccine, and that it will, the distribution of that particular vaccine will start this coming week even, along with the two others that are already out there. So as that happens, we would hope that more and more people will have availability to the vaccine, and that the groups that are just now restricted to receiving it, there'll be more and more people added to that as time moves forward. Saying that, we will continue to do our in-person worship. Let me rephrase that. We will continue to do worship through live stream as we have been since this whole thing started. Each week now, when the weather permits, I am providing outdoors on the front lawn with anyone who wants to come. It's primarily, I started this for the folks who are waiting to receive lunch from us. A brief worship time. It's not as long as what we're doing here on camera each week, but it's about a 10-minute time of sharing a good word and maybe singing a song. So if you want to have an in-person experience with us, feel free to come at 11:30 each Sunday. Like I say, when weather permits, we will do that outdoors. As far as our in-person or inside activities, this is kind of how I see it unfolding. Our first phase of returning to in-person will be worship. Then what I would follow by second phase is when we're able to once more unlock the doors of the Mercy Center throughout the week and allow folks to come in freely as they were before the pandemic struck. That what I see as phase two. And the final phase, I think, will be our in-person inside dining. That'll probably be the last thing that we return to. We're not there yet with any of those phases. I'm not comfortable doing that, at least until the vaccine is more widely available, particularly available to those who have particular responsibilities in our Sunday morning worship, that they have the option to be fully vaccinated and gain immunity before we bring folks back into our worship spaces. I know there'll be other churches, as there were before, that will be going back to in-person, and many of them have capabilities for distancing and maintaining the wearing of masks and monitoring that with the folks who come, much more capability of doing that than I feel that we do. So, and probably the last thing that has guided my decision making is at the core of this church's values from the very beginning has been whenever we come together, everybody's welcome. And as one church that we often follow closely said on their website as they went back to in-person last week, limited in-person worship. I don't like that concept of limiting people. When we do open the doors, I hope we can do it in a way that everyone who wants to come can come. So I wanted to say that to you just to give you a little update on where I'm at with that, and certainly I look forward to that day as soon as possible when we can be back together in person, worshiping the way that we all desire to worship. So our lunch partner this week I want to thank is St. John's United Methodist, and we're grateful for them and for other partners who will be bringing us lunches to distribute throughout our week. And Elizabeth, do you have a...
We need blankets.
Okay, Elizabeth tells me that we need blankets, if anyone has any that they can contribute, as we still know there will be some cold weather times. So, and speaking of Elizabeth, keep her and Cody in your prayers. They're reaching closer and closer to that day when James Wayne Hyatt will enter the world here among us as their son, and we're excited about that, and it could come time in the next few weeks. So keep her and Cody in your prayers. All right, remember what it's all about? It's about loving God and loving each other.